Here we have a SAT math question. Okay, let's go with the question. The length of a rectangle's diagonal is 5 times square root of 17 and the length of the rectangle's shorter side is 5. What is the length of the rectangle's longer side? Okay, so first let me draw a rectangle with the given measurements. Here we have a rectangle and the question says the length of rectangle's diagonal. So here the length of this segment is 5 times square root of 17 and these are the two sides of the rectangle and the length of the rectangle's shorter side is 5. So this is the shortest side, so its length is 5 and we have to find the rectangle's longer side. So we have to find the length of this side. So we can assume the length of this side as just x. And also already we know that in a rectangle, the angle measured at each vertex will be a right angle. So we'll have a right angle over here. So clearly now let me name this as vertex A and here we have vertex B, here we have vertex C. So ABC is a right triangle. Since ABC is a right triangle, we can use Pythagorean theorem over here. What is Pythagorean theorem? So the Pythagorean theorem says, so the sum of the squares of the two legs of a triangle is equal to the square of the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is nothing but the side which is opposite to right angle. So if I square the two legs 5 and x and add them, so let me square the x square and add the other leg that is 5, I'll be getting 5 square. Now this is the sum of the squares of the two legs, then it has to be equal to the square of the hypotenuse which is 5 times square root of 17. So this is Pythagorean theorem. We have to solve for x in this equation. Okay, so when I simplify this 5 square, it will be 20, it's 25, the value of 5 square is 25. And here 5 and square root of 17 are multiplied and we have the common exponent. So whenever two values are multiplied and we have the common exponent, the exponent can be distributed to each value and multiply them. So then I will be getting 5 square times square root of 17, the whole square. So here the square root and square root cancel out. So I'm getting x square positive 25 equals to, and the evaluation of this 5 square is just 25 times, and here we just have 17. Okay, now we have x square positive 25. Okay, we can multiply 25 and 17. So that is equal to 425. Okay, now to solve for x square, we have to get rid of all the values around the variable x square. So for that, first I have to get rid of this positive 25. So for that, I have to subtract 25 from both sides. When I subtract 25 from both sides, it's positive 25 and negative 25 will cancel out. I get x square equals to the simplification of this one, that is 425 negative 25 is 400. Okay, my aim is to get the value of x, so we have to get rid of this square. For that, I have to take a square root on both sides. When I take square root on both sides, the square root and square root cancel out. And whenever I take square root for a number, the sign in front of the square root will be positive or negative. So I get x equals to positive or negative, and the square root of 400 is just 20. So I get x equals to 20 or negative 20, because in front of square root we have positive or negative. Okay, but x represents the length of the rectangle's longer side. It's over here. So the length of rectangle's longer side can never be a negative value. So we can ignore this negative 20. So the length of the rectangle's longer side is just 20. So the correct answer choice for this question is option B.